the story of the Nephilim. Today, we invite you on a fascinating journey through one of the most intriguing themes in the Bible, with a special focus on the brothers of the giant Goliath. For many, Goliath is a familiar name, known as the giant who was defeated by the young shepherd David. However, few know the full story behind his lineage, which includes other equally impressive and fearsome giants. The Nephilim are mentioned in various biblical texts, but their stories are often shrouded in mystery and diverse interpretations. The idea of enormous men roaming the earth, challenging kings and warriors, is both frightening and curious. But who were these extraordinary beings? Where did they come from? And what was their purpose? In this video, we will delve deep into the scriptures and ancient traditions to unravel these enigmas. We will explore not only the origins and characteristics of the Nephilim, but also the specific stories of Goliath's brothers, giant warriors who, like their famous brother, faced the Israelites in epic and impressive battles. Throughout this video, we will draw connections between the challenges faced by biblical characters and the spiritual struggles we encounter in our own lives. But before we proceed, remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Your participation is crucial for us to continue bringing rich and in-depth content about the Bible and its eternal relevance. Stay with us and enjoy this journey of knowledge and spirituality. The Nephilim are one of the most mysterious and intriguing figures in the Bible, first mentioned in Genesis 6:1-4. These beings are described as the heroes of old, men of renown. But who exactly were they and what was their origin? The etymology of the word Nephilim comes from the Hebrew Nephilim, which is generally translated as fallen ones, or those who fall. This definition already suggests an exceptional and supernatural nature. According to the biblical account, the Nephilim emerged in an era of great corruption and moral decay, a period before the flood. Genesis 6:1-2 says, "When men began to multiply on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves from all whom they chose." This union between the sons of God and the daughters of men resulted in the birth of these colossal beings, creatures of extraordinary size and strength. The identity of the sons of God has been a point of debate among theologians and scholars. A common interpretation is that they were fallen angels, celestial beings who rebelled against God and descended to earth. This view is supported by apocryphal texts, such as the Book of Enoch, which details how certain angels, known as the Watchers, descended to earth, fell in love with the daughters of men, and began a race of giants. The Book of Enoch describes these fallen angels teaching humans various skills and knowledge, but also bringing chaos and destruction. Another interpretation suggests that the sons of God were humans, possibly from the godly lineage of Seth, Adam's son, who intermingled with the ungodly lineage of Cain. This view proposes that the Nephilim were simply powerful and violent men whose actions contributed to the increasing wickedness on earth. However, this interpretation does not fully explain the superhuman characteristics attributed to the Nephilim. Regardless of the interpretation adopted, the presence of these beings is always associated with a time of great wickedness and corruption. Genesis 6:5-6 describes how God saw that the wickedness of man was great on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. It was in this context of moral decay that these creatures thrived, contributing to the need for divine judgment. In addition to Genesis, other biblical passages mention the Nephilim or refer to giants in a way that may be related to them. Numbers 13:33, for example, reports the Israelite spies describing the inhabitants of Canaan as descendants of the Nephilim, saying, "We saw the Nephilim there. The descendants of Anak come from the Nephilim. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them." The mention of giants in different contexts and biblical eras suggests that the memory of these beings remained alive among the Israelites, associated with moments of great challenge and fear. They symbolize in many ways the seemingly insurmountable obstacles that God's people had to face on their journey. The Nephilim are not just a historical or mythological curiosity, they carry deep spiritual symbolism. They represent the unnatural mixture and corruption that occurs when the boundaries ordained by God are transgressed. Their existence and eventual destruction by the flood are a reminder of the gravity of sin and the need for purification and redemption. For many scholars and Christians, the Nephilim also represent the spiritual and moral challenges we face in our own lives. Just as the colossal beasts were a physical and moral threat to ancient humanity, we face giants in our lives that test our faith, our morality, and our determination. Goliath is undoubtedly one of the most iconic figures of the Old Testament. The Philistine giant is best known for his confrontation with David, the young shepherd who would become king of Israel. But Goliath was not a solitary giant. He was part of a lineage of colossal beasts, fearsome warriors who terrorized the Israelites on various occasions. The story of Goliath and his family offers a fascinating glimpse into the epic battles fought between the Philistines and the Israelites, as well as the spiritual and physical challenges these battles represented. Goliath was a native of Gath, one of the 5 main Philistine cities located in what is now southwestern Israel and parts of Gaza. The Philistines were known for their military prowess and advanced weaponry, frequently clashing with the Israelites. Gath in particular was a stronghold of giants, becoming a symbol of power and threat to the Israelites. This city is mentioned several times in the Bible, and its ruins have been the subject of extensive archaeological excavations, revealing much about Philistine life and culture. Goliath, described in 1 Samuel 17, was about 3 meters tall, wore heavy armor, and carried a massive spear. His presence was intimidating, and he challenged the Israelites for 40 days, insulting their troops and their God. This challenge culminated in one of the most famous confrontations in the Bible when David, armed only with a sling and 5 smooth stones, defeated Goliath with a single blow to the forehead, proving that faith in God could overcome even the most formidable enemies. However, Goliath was not the only giant in his family. The Bible mentions other giants who were also descendants of Rapha and who faced the Israelites. In 1 Chronicles 24, 8 and 2 Samuel 21:15, 22, we find accounts of 4 other giants related to Goliath, suggesting that he was part of an entire lineage of colossal warriors. Ishbi-Benob, mentioned in 2 Samuel 21:16, 17, was a descendant of Rapha who tried to kill David during a battle. He was armed with a bronze spear weighing 300 shekels and a new sword. However, before the giant could carry out his intent, Abishai, son of Zeruiah and one of David's valiant warriors, intervened and killed him, saving David. This story highlights the continuous danger faced by David and the loyalty and bravery of his men. Saph, or Saph, another giant mentioned in 2 Samuel 21:18 and 1 Chronicles 20:4, was killed by Sibbecai the Hushathite during a battle against the Philistines. The figure of Saph reminds us of the persistent threat that giants represented to Israel and the courage of the Israelite warriors who, despite the odds, managed to overcome these giants through their faith and determination. Lahmi, the brother of Goliath, is mentioned in 1 Chronicles 25. He's described as carrying a spear with a shaft like a weaver's rod. Lahmi was killed by Elhanan, son of Jair, in a battle against the Philistines. The story of Lahmi underscores the participation of other Israelite heroes who, though not as famous as David, played crucial roles in protecting Israel. The giant with 6 fingers, described in 1 Chronicles 20:6-7, had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, totaling 24. He too was a descendant of Rapha and challenged Israel, but was killed by Jonathan, son of Shimea, David's brother. The description of this giant with anomalous physical characteristics adds an element of mystery to the biblical narrative and reinforces the idea that the Nephilim were exceptional beings, both in strength and appearance. The lineage of Goliath and his brothers is significant not only for their impressive physical characteristics, but also for the spiritual symbolism they carry. The giants of the Bible often represent challenges and obstacles that seem insurmountable, testing the faith and courage of God's people. The confrontation between David and Goliath, for example, was not just a physical battle, but a spiritual struggle where faith and trust in God overcame brute strength and intimidation. Moreover, the presence of a lineage of giants suggests a continuity of challenge and conflict. Each of these giants represented a new threat to Israel, requiring constant vigilance and dependence on God. They serve as a reminder that spiritual challenges often come in series, and each victory is just a step in the journey of faith. The city of Gath, from which Goliath and his brothers came, also plays an important role in understanding the lineage of these beings. Gath was a well-fortified fortress, strategically located near the borders with Israel. The city is described as having robust walls and elaborate defenses, characteristics that made any attempt at conquest difficult. Archaeologically, excavations at Tel Es-Safi, the site identified as the ancient Gath, have revealed impressive fortifications, weapons, and artifacts that attest to the Philistines' military prowess. Gath represents a bastion of resistance against God's people, a symbol of the forces that oppose justice and truth. The presence of Goliath and his brothers in this city strengthens this image, making it not only a physical place, but also a symbol of spiritual challenge. Gath, located on the coastal plain of Canaan, was one of the 5 main Philistine cities along with Ashdod, Ashkelon, Ekron, and Gaza. These cities formed a pentapolis, a confederation that dominated the region and frequently conflicted with Israel. Gath was particularly known for its military strength and its powerful warriors, including the giants descended from Rapha. The Philistines, originating from the Aegean Sea, were a seafaring people who settled on the coast of Canaan around the 12th century BC. They brought with them technological and military advancements, including ironworking, which gave them a significant advantage over their neighbors, who still used bronze tools and weapons. This technological superiority, combined with their military prowess, made the Philistines a formidable adversary for Israel. The city of Gath, with its imposing fortifications, served as a bulwark against invasions. The high and robust walls, constructed with advanced techniques for the time, provided an almost impenetrable defense. Additionally, the inhabitants of Gath were known for their bravery and combat skills, characteristics personified by Goliath and his brothers. The lineage of Goliath, descended from Rapha, is emblematic of the resistance and threat that the Philistines represented. Each giant, with their extraordinary strength and abilities, symbolized an almost insurmountable challenge for the Israelites. However, these stories also highlight the courage and faith of Israel's warriors, who relied on God to overcome much stronger adversaries. The narrative of Goliath, for example, is not just about a young shepherd facing a giant, but about David's unwavering confidence in God. Goliath, with his impressive height and heavy armor, represented physical power and intimidation. David, on the other hand, represented faith and determination. His victory over Goliath with a simple sling and stone became a lasting symbol of the superiority of faith over brute strength. The other giants in Goliath's lineage were also defeated by Israelite warriors who exhibited great courage and skill. Ishbi-benob, Saph, Lami, and the giant with 6 fingers were all killed in battles that tested the strength and faith of the Israelites. Each of these stories reinforces the message that with God's help, no challenge is insurmountable. The presence of these giants and their battles with the Israelites have deep spiritual significance. They symbolize the obstacles and challenges that each person faces in their faith journey. Just as the Israelites faced physical giants, each of us faces giants in our lives, whether they be fears, doubts, temptations, or other challenges. The stories of David and the other Israelite warriors remind us that with faith, courage, and determination, we can overcome any adversity. Moreover, these narratives emphasize the importance of leadership and community. David was not alone in his battles. He was supported by his valiant warriors, men who shared his faith and were willing to fight alongside him. This unity and loyalty were crucial to their victories. Similarly, we are called to support each other in our spiritual battles, finding strength in community and shared faith. Therefore, the lineage of Goliath is not just a series of stories about giants and battles, but a rich tapestry of spiritual and moral lessons. It teaches us about the importance of faith, courage, leadership, and community. It challenges us to face our own giants with the same determination and trust in God that David and his men demonstrated. Ultimately, the story of Goliath and his family is a powerful reminder that with God, all things are possible. Each giant defeated by the Israelites is a testament to the strength of faith and divine providence. And just as David faced his challenges with courage, we can face ours, knowing that God is with us every step of the way. The city of Gath and the lineage of Goliath remain enduring symbols of resistance and challenge, but also of victory and redemption. They remind us that no matter the size of the obstacles we face, we can overcome anything with faith, courage, and the help of God. Facing giants like the Nephilim required more than courage. It demanded intelligent strategies and well-crafted tactics. The Israelites, led by figures such as David and his valiant warriors, repeatedly demonstrated that cunning and faith could overcome even the most formidable adversaries. Let's explore some of the tactics and strategies employed by the Israelites in their battles against the giants. One of the most effective tactics used by the Israelites was leveraging the terrain. With a deep understanding of their land's geography, they could choose battlefields that gave them an advantage. Hilly or rugged terrain could neutralize the size and strength advantages of the giants, making their movements difficult and rendering them easier targets for surprise attacks. For example, fighting in rocky areas or narrow valleys could limit the giants' mobility and expose them to coordinated strikes. While the Philistine giants, such as Goliath, relied on their strength and heavy armor, the Israelite warriors often used their mobility to their advantage. David, for instance, faced Goliath with a sling and stones, weapons that allowed him to maintain distance and attack with precision. The lightness and speed of his movements were crucial in evading Goliath's powerful blows. This focus on agility enabled the Israelites to attack quickly and retreat before the giants could effectively retaliate. Surprise attacks were essential in battles. The Israelite warriors, under the leadership of David and his commanders, frequently planned ambushes and nighttime assaults, catching the giants off guard. Surprise could disorient the giants and give the Israelites a crucial initial advantage. Successful ambushes could divide enemy forces, create confusion, and facilitate swift and decisive victories. The choice and innovative use of weapons played a significant role. While Goliath and his brothers carried massive spears and swords, the Israelites used weapons that maximized their agility and skill. David's sling is an excellent example of how a simple weapon in the right hands could be deadly. Additionally, the Israelite warriors were skilled in using bows and arrows, allowing them to attack from a safe distance. The use of lighter, more mobile weapons gave the Israelites the flexibility needed to face heavier, less agile adversaries. Unity and coordination among the Israelite warriors were fundamental. Biblical accounts often highlight the importance of cooperation and mutual support. For instance, when David faced Ishbi-Benob, it was the quick aid of Abishai that ensured his survival and the giants' defeat. This cohesion among the warriors was vital in confronting such powerful foes. Working as a team allowed the Israelites to support each other and maximize their collective abilities. Faith played a central role in the strategies of Israel's warriors. The warriors believed they were fighting under God's protection and guidance, which elevated their morale and determination. This unwavering faith gave them the courage to face daunting adversaries like the giants. David's confrontation with Goliath is an iconic example, where David's trust in God was his greatest weapon. High morale was crucial in maintaining cohesion and the will to fight even in the face of great challenges. Experience in battle significantly contributed to the effectiveness of the Israelites' tactics. Veterans like David and his valiant warriors had faced many enemies and learned valuable lessons about combat. This experience allowed them to develop specific tactics to deal with the giants, adjusting their strategies as needed. Israelite military leaders knew how to leverage their strengths and minimize their weaknesses through the experience gained in numerous confrontations. In some battles, the Israelites used diversion tactics to disorient and confuse their enemies. This could involve creating loud noises or moving troops to make it appear as if an attack was coming from a different direction. Such disorientation could break the giants' formation, making them more vulnerable to coordinated attacks. Creating false impressions and deceptive maneuvers were strategies to gain a tactical advantage. Exploiting the specific weaknesses of the giants was another crucial tactic. Despite their strength, the giants were generally slower and less agile. The Israelites capitalized on these weaknesses by attacking quickly and withdrawing before the giants could effectively retaliate. Focusing on weak points such as joints or unprotected areas was an effective way to overcome the robust defenses of the colossal beings. The psychological factor was also an important and crucial tactic. Demonstrating confidence and bravery, as David did when facing Goliath, could intimidate the enemies and boost the morale of their own troops. Goliath's defeat had a significant psychological impact, demoralizing the Philistines and strengthening the Israelites. Showing fearlessness and initiative could turn the tide in favor of the Israelites. These strategies and tactics underscore the importance of intelligence, agility, and faith in overcoming seemingly insurmountable challenges. The Israelites' ability to combine these elements in their battles against the giants serves as a powerful reminder that with the right approach, any adversary can be defeated. These strategies can be observed in numerous battles, such as when David used surprise and precision to defeat Goliath. He ignored the heavy armor offered to him and instead relied on his skill with the sling. His approach demonstrated that strategy and trust in God could overcome brute strength. In the fight between Abishai and Ishbi-Benob, the swift intervention of Abishai to save David highlights the importance of vigilance and mutual support. The readiness to assist one another in combat was a tactic that saved lives and ensured victories. In the clash between Sibbecai and Saph, Sibbecai's ability to defeat Saph underscores the importance of training and experience in battles. The Israelite warriors were well trained and knew how to confront larger and stronger adversaries. The battles against the Philistine giants required a combination of intelligence, strategy, and faith. The Israelites, led by inspiring figures like David, repeatedly demonstrated that victory did not rely solely on physical strength, but on a careful and well-planned approach. Their tactics and strategies testify to how cunning and determination can overcome even the most formidable opponents. The stories of the Nephilim and the giants descended from Rapha, such as Goliath and his brothers, offer us much more than just accounts of ancient battles. They lead us to a deep reflection on faith, courage, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. Through these narratives, we are invited to explore the profound and impactful biblical stories, where each character and each event teaches us valuable spiritual lessons. The Nephilim, with their mysterious origins and immense statures, symbolize the seemingly insurmountable challenges we all face in our daily lives. Just as the Israelites faced physical giants, each of us encounters metaphorical giants that test our faith and determination. These giants can be internal fears, doubts, temptations, or even external obstacles like financial difficulties, health problems, or personal conflicts. The stories of these giants remind us that with faith in God and courage, we can overcome any difficulty and challenge. The narrative of David and Goliath is a classic example of the victory of the small over the great, the weak over the strong, and faith over brute force. David, a young shepherd, faced Goliath not with powerful weapons or heavy armor, but with a sling, 5 stones, and unwavering faith in God. His victory is a testament to the power of faith and the importance of trusting in God, regardless of the circumstances. It is a reminder that when we face our own giants, we must remember that we are not alone. God is by our side, strengthening and guiding us. The battles against the other giants, such as Ishbi-Benob, Saph, Lahmi, and the giant with 6 fingers, reinforce this message of courage and faith. Each of these confrontations illustrates how unity, strategy, and trust in God can lead to victory. The Israelite warriors did not fight alone. They counted on each other and on divine protection. This cohesion and loyalty among the warriors are a powerful metaphor for the importance of community and mutual support in our own spiritual battles. The city of Gath, home to Goliath and his brothers, represents a bastion of resistance and challenge. The fortified walls and powerful warriors of Gath symbolize the barriers and obstacles we encounter in our lives. However, just as the Israelites overcame these challenges through faith and determination, we are called to face our own difficulties with courage and confidence in Christ. The ruins of Gath, discovered by archaeologists, serve as a tangible testimony of past battles and victories achieved through faith. The Nephilim and the giants of the Bible remind us that life is a continuous series of challenges. Each victory against a giant is a step in our spiritual journey, bringing us closer to God and strengthening our faith. These stories teach us that regardless of the size of the obstacles we face, with faith, courage, and God's help, we can overcome them. These stories are a call to action, encouraging us to trust in God, support each other, and face our challenges with determination and faith. The life of David and his confrontations with the giants also teach us about the importance of leadership and example. David, despite being young and inexperienced, showed unwavering faith and exemplary courage. His confidence in God and his ability to inspire his men are qualities that we should all aspire to. As leaders in our own spheres, we should strive to be examples of faith, courage, and determination, inspiring those around us to also trust in God and face their own giants. Ultimately, the stories of the Nephilim and the giants descended from Rapha are a powerful reminder that with God, all things are possible. Each giant defeated by the Israelites is a testament to the strength of faith and divine providence. And just as David faced his challenges with courage, we can face ours, knowing that God is with us every step of the way. These narratives continue to inspire and strengthen our faith, reminding us that regardless of the size of the obstacles we face, we can overcome them with faith, courage, and divine help. As we conclude this video, I encourage you to reflect on the giants in your own life. What challenges do you face? How can you trust more in God and seek the courage and determination needed to overcome them? Remember the stories of David and the valiant warriors of Israel. Remember that with faith in God, there is no challenge too great, no obstacle insurmountable. May these stories strengthen your faith and give you the courage to face your own giants, knowing that God is with you every step of the way. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Leave your comments below with your reflections on the Nephilim and Goliath's brothers. Your participation is crucial for us to continue bringing rich and inspiring content about the Bible. Thank you for watching and see you next time.